Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a long time since I've vlogged and I'm back. So, as you can see, if I got this shirt on, you know that I'm in the studio or I'm cleaning somewhere or some stuff is about to go down. So let me explain it to you first. So what I'm doing here is I'm changing the heads on my drum kit. I'm using the Evans G2s at the moment on the kit, and I'm changing it out for the Evans EC2s. They call them cotton puffs, or we call them cotton wool balls. So I hate sticking things or dampeners on the drum kit. I'd rather have them inside the drums to help to dampen the drum. So if that's something that might be helpful to you, you can just take these cotton wool balls and put them in the drum, and that will help to dampen the drum. So it acts like sort of like a gate. The title of today's vlog is Comfort Zone. A comfort zone is somewhere where we become complacent, we become unmotivated, and we become bored with what we are doing. And I want to live outside of my comfort zone. I'm tired of doing things that are just, like I could say, like just for the sake of doing things, or things that are just within my means. I want to push forward and I want to push further, especially in my drumming as well. And outside your comfort zone, that's where the magic happens. That's where your growth happens. And that's what I want to do. Is I want to grow as a drummer. I want to grow as a musician. I want to learn more. And the only way you can do that is if you take yourself out of the comfort zone. I shared something on Facebook today about not shying away from hard work. And hard work is the ability to dwell outside the comfort zone. So that's what today's vlog is about. And yeah, I'm just going to show you a time lapse now of me removing my drums from the kit and then taking it into the house, and then I'm going to change the heads like I said. Okay, so now you've seen the time lapse. I've just dismantled the kit. I'm going to take the drums into the house just now and get the new heads in, and then tune them in, because I'm going to be hopefully I'm recording a new drum cover this week, and I'm going with the EC2s because I want a bit more tone out of the drums, just to give me a bit more of that attack as well and that tone, and I'm going to be tuning it a lot higher because there's going to be a lot of fast stuff that I'm doing. Fun note, I've tried to play the song at the speed at which I'm trying to do the solo section. Actually, it's the third and last solo section, and I tell you something, I don't have the speed as yet. So I'm hoping by the end of this week, when I'm ready to record the drum cover or the drum play along, I'll be able to do it. So that's the reason for the title, Comfort Zone. And if you know me, you know that I hate drum solos. I just cannot stand it. And there are 3 drum solos in this one song. So I've worked out the first 2 and I'm just working on the last one now. Alright, so there's some big things happening at the moment. Let me share it with you anyway. I'm actually launching a website for my drumming school. And for those that want to contact me to record drums on their albums or their songs, or any producers want to work with me, all of that information will be on the website. So I'm actually trying to do some website photos for that, and so I'm actually going to be shooting that now. And if you look behind me, you'll see I got my Pearl Sensitone snare drum, and that's the snare drum that I'm going to be using for the shoot. Yeah, so I got to get that ready, and yeah, hopefully you guys will like it when you see it. I'll insert the photos when I'm done. yes, the other big thing as well is I'm so happy that I'm actually able to vlog again, because my lens, a lot of my lenses were giving me problems. So I actually had to send it in for repairs, and they've been repaired and given back to me. And yes, I can start vlogging, I can start filming again and uploading those videos for you. Yeah, so a little background on what I'm going to be using for the shoot. I'm just going to be using the snare, and it's going to be on the snare drum stand, and I'm just going to have a pair of sticks on it with a book and a pair of headphones, and I'm going to be using my Canon 50mm 1.8 lens, and that's a beautiful lens to use, and it'll be nice and sharp, especially for the website. So I'll insert some photos and maybe just do a video of that as well. Okay. What's up again, guys? I just came out to buy a bass drum patch. On Saturday when I was practicing for church, I actually dinged the drum, and the beater of the bass drum pedal went straight through the bass drum, and so I had to buy a new bass drum head, and then I had to get a new patch. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about this new play along that I'm practicing for, and it really took me to a dark place, because it reminded me of a time when somebody that was very close to me was actually said to me that they were actually embarrassed of me because I had like no content online, and little did they know that I was suffering with low self-esteem issues, and still do a bit. But I mean, this is something I wanted to say, that especially if you're talking to somebody that has low self-esteem issues, no matter what you tell them or how good they are on an instrument or whatever it is in life, if they themselves do not believe that they are good enough, there's nothing that you can tell them. And I just remember at that time just having empathy for that person, because they didn't understand what it was that I was going through. And this track, it really challenged me, and really made me ask the question, like, do I want to post this online, or just keep it for myself? And I said, you know what, no, I want to put this out there, because it's also these vlogs and these drum covers and stuff like that I upload to YouTube. It's a sort of like a snapshot for myself when I look back on where I was in my drumming and how far I have come in my drumming. So I will be posting it at a later stage this week. And yeah, check this view out, man. This view is totally cool. Okay guys, so I'm back from buying the bass drum patch or bass drum pad. That's the one that we have here. So you can see I've taken my bass drum apart, and so I'm just gonna give it some TLC, clean it up on the inside, and take off the dust residue and stuff like that out. I've also taken off the bass drum clamps that you can see here, and I'm just going to clean them up a bit. And then you can also see I have my bass drum pedal, and I also need to clean this up. I haven't cleaned it up in a long time. Quick one, your bass drum pedal. Do you guys prefer to use the plastic part here or the felt? You can see this is a Pearl Illuminator. I think it's a 2000P or P2000 series. This is the red edition, and it's a double chain, and I like it a lot. It serves me quite well. And yeah, so I have some some cleaning appliances for it, as well as I've got some machine oil that we're going to use to clean it up. Yeah, so I just wanted to speak briefly about what we were talking about before, and I wanted to say that, you know, I didn't want to be drumming from that kind of a dark place where I was actually thinking about how embarrassed I was, or how I made that significant other in my life feel. And so I actually needed to try and shift my mind and my focus, and it brought me to Christ, and it took me to preparation. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about preparation, and I'm going to be going into 3 types of preparation that we have, or that I used to help me to get out of my comfort zone, and my hope is that it's going to help you as well. So I'm just going to do a small time lapse of me actually cleaning up the drum and the bass drum pedal and putting on the new head. Oh yes, before I forget, this is the new head that I've got. This is a Remo Power Stroke 3. It's actually the same head that comes on the reference series. This is the old head. As you can see, if you can see here, this is where it bust open here, right, with the bass drum pedal. And if you can see, I mean, this head is 10 years old, so it lasted me quite a long time. And then if you look at the new one, you can actually, I don't know if you guys can see, but there is a big difference in terms of the color as well. Like you can see, this is the newer one, has a much clearer tinge to it, and the older one has a yellow tinge. So I guess that's just plastic, you know. Plastic over time, it gets like a yellow tinge as it gets older. Okay, this is not plastic actually, this is actually mylar. That's the type of material that is used to make the drum head, or the bass drum head in our case. Okay, so let's cut to the time lapse. Okay, it's the next day, and I'm actually here, as you can see here, I'm Shlanga. I just finished off with one of my colleagues. You'll be seeing him soon. He's actually the vocalist, one of the vocalists, and acoustic guitarist for my band, which I will be introducing in one of the vlogs later on. And I'm going to dedicate an entire vlog just to that. So I'll be introducing each member and what they are doing and the name of the band and what's our mission statement and stuff like that. So it's going to be some cool stuff. So back to what the vlog is about, comfort zone. As I said previously, God shifted my heart to Christ, and Christ then focused my attention to preparation. So there are 3 key things that will help us when we are outside of our comfort zone. Those things are preparing our minds, preparing our hearts, and preparing our bodies physically. Let's look at the first one, preparation of our minds. And this was a major issue for me, and this is where the devil had his biggest hold on me, because I was always defeated in my mind. Like whenever I found myself trying to attempt a new activity, before I even attempted it, I was already defeated and said, you know what, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to make it, and I didn't belong doing that. We're going to look at what I did to actually counter that and to change my mind from thinking like that. But firstly, I just wanted to say that, you know what, I hated thinking like this. I hated thinking that I was inferior, or that I was not worth it, or that I had been defeated like this so many times, and I really wanted to try and get out of that. The first thing I did was, for every negative thought that I had in my mind, I thought of 2 positives. And trust me, it sounds so easy, but when you actually try and put it into practice, you'll see how difficult it is to actually find those two positive things. But I can tell you that as time goes on, it gets a lot easier. The second thing that I said to myself was that I'm a child of God, and if He has given us life, or loved us so much to give us life, we should be living the life that He wants us to live. And the third and last thing that I've done for preparing our minds is I had to tell myself that I deserve to be here and that God has placed me here. I've been through so many struggles and trials in life that He has allowed me to be in this position and that I deserve to be here. Mind in check, the next step is preparation of our hearts. And our hearts brought me back to my why, or my heart brought me back to my why, and why God has called me to do what it is that I'm here to do. I'm here to serve God with my ministry, my talent, and my calling, and to serve Him unconditionally and the people that He has blessed me to work with. The first step is I reminded myself that this is what God has called me to do. And I feel that this is something so simple that we all need to be reminded of, that this is what God has called us to do and that this is our ministries, this is what He has blessed us to do. If we read Exodus chapter 4 verse 20, we'll see this is a very pinnacle point in Moses' life where he is ready to take the children of Israel out and lead them into the promised land. At this point, Moses was afraid that the people won't believe him and won't trust in him. So he posed this question to God and he said, God, you know what, I'm afraid, can you give me a sign of power? And God's answers to him was so simple but had so much of power. And God asked him, what do you have in your hands? And I feel so many of us, even myself included, we're always looking for a big sign, or we're always looking for this dramatic gesture or something like that to see God move. Whereas if we just look down and see what it is that we have in our hands, we would see what God is calling us to do. Now, to Moses, he just had a staff in his hand. I mean, he just used that as a shepherd boy, and that's all that he had. But to God, that had so much more significance. That was his instrument in which he used to perform his miracles. I mean, this is so powerful for me because it tells me, never underestimate what God has placed in your heart. Never underestimate what He has called you to do. Number 2 is prayer. And for me, this is the most important step because I ask the Holy Spirit to lead and guide me. And the third one is also a key one because it's a reminder to me that this is what I love to do. I mean, you know, God has, yes, He has places in me, but I also love drumming and I love teaching as well. I mean, God started this journey with me when I was 12 years old, and He's actually used that instrument and that ministry to draw closer to Him. Okay, I'm back from the beach. I'm in the parking lot and people are looking at me crazy, so I'm gonna try and speed this up or make this as fast as possible. So the third and last thing that I prepared was preparing our bodies physically. So this is the step where we get down and dirty, where the magic happens, where we're down in the trenches and we giving it all we got and we practicing and focusing on what we need to do to get better. You know, there's this one quote that I always remember whenever I don't feel like practicing, and it says that hard work will get you to much better places than your talent ever will. And that's something that always stuck with me and something that always reminded me to practice and to focus on what I need to do. So the drums is a physical instrument. I mean, you're moving all 4 limbs of your body simultaneously or at all different times, and it's very hard to actually get the coordination down. So the main thing that helps you is get a practice routine. I mean, put goals and systems in place, have a dream, take it before God and ask Him to help you to get better. As drummers, especially the drummers that are at my age, and you can see my goatee is a bit gray and my hair is a bit gray, alongside with your practice routine, we also need a good warm-up routine. I mean, there's stuff that we always forget, like your drum rudiments, your doubles, your singles, your foot technique, your foot speed. Do all of that first before you actually get into your practice routine, and trust me, you will feel so much better after you've actually implemented your warm-up routine. The third, last and final step is to play the music. I mean, us as drummers, at the end of the day, we want to play music. So it's basically taking what we've learned and applying it to the music. That's how we make what we've learned musical. And I feel that's such an important step, because sometimes when we just be practicing and practicing with no end, and we may not see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's when we take what we've learned and we make it musical, that's when we see the fruits of our labor, and that's when it starts to all gel together. So guys, this is the end of it. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sharing the video with all of your friends. I encourage you as well to please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get this channel going, and I cannot do it on my own. I need your help, and I hope this was a blessing to you. I know it's a long vlog, but there's so much in here that I'm sure it's going to benefit a lot of people. I just want to say thank you, and I'm going to try my best to upload a weekly vlog together with a drum cover and a drum lesson. So please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of your week, your day. Thanks. Cheers.